Hello again, and welcome back to another edition of the Royal Report. I am your Royal 2IC. Coffee break. It is early the time that I'm recording this. I don't know when time you guys will see this, but it is early. Alright, so we are going to continue our coverage, and we're going to go back to the more traditional style that I do. Not quite to where I put the little things up here yet, because it seems like when I don't, I get a lot more views, so I think the algorithm's still kind of watching that. We'll test it out here in the future and kind of see. But let's jump right into this one. So, the Iranian foreign minister at the UN warned that they do not want to expand the conflict, but if the killing of Palestinians continue with America's help, then America will not be spared of the fire. It's an interesting statement. Now, one thing that I want to point out, and now this is just me here. This was at the UN. Okay? For me, I want you to kind of hold that in the back of your head. But this is again, threat. Now, we do this on every single video, it seems like. It's just words until it is actions behind it. So we will see. Right now it is posturing, it is, you do this sort of thing. Now, again, I want you to kind of note and get that highlight that they were at the UN. Who else is in the UN? Turkey. Now, if you watched Pinball's video this morning, his was fully about could Turkey be the one that starts World War III, because they are a country that's in NATO. Now, Israel is not in NATO. And so his point to that video, which I encourage you to just go watch it yourself, but because Turkey has come out and has backed Hamas, Iran has come out and backed Hamas, China has come out and backed Iran, Russia has come out and backed Iran. Okay, now you're starting to see, and I said this a couple of videos back, I'm still going to continue to say this. This has a feeling, and I very well could be wrong, this might end up coming to be a UN versus NATO conflict. Now, one of the big things is that the Office of High Commissioner on Human Rights says that Israel has committed war crimes. So now we're getting to that whole thing. So the UN is starting to come out against Israel, where NATO is in support of Israel. Do you see where I'm going with this? Could completely be wrong, but it's starting to kind of take some shape here. Now, to go through, China state media again has come out publicly and firmly stressed its support of Iran. Iran has been seen testing its military readiness, as well as the Iranian president come out with a statement that says Israel has crossed a red line. So that's a lot of info in just a couple of sentences there. So go through that, dissect that, and look. The way that you have NATO on one side, the UN on another side, Iran is really becoming a spokesperson, out here against everything. Turkey starting to really get involved in that. You've got some other leaders that are trying to come in and just get their limelight. Lukashenko came out and said that World War III will start in the Middle East. Kim Jong-un said that World War III is getting ready to happen, so everybody should start preparing now. The irony of that. Moving on. So the Yemen rebels warned Israel that Israeli military bases in Africa are in range. I didn't know that Israel had military bases down there, but then again, Israel is not supposed to be a nuclear power, so I'm sure they probably do. I will do some research. I did a little bit and I couldn't find anything. It doesn't mean that there isn't anything. Uh, Moving over in that region is an object, likely a missile or drone. I have seen multiple reports of both. So it kind of looks low that it's leaning more towards a drone. Fell in Egypt. Now, Egypt says it will determine not only what it is, but where it came from. And once they do that, all options are on the table for the party responsible. Great. So now, because what happens if that was a whole different country? Let's say that was, I don't know. Let's say that was a NATO surveillance drone. Wasn't getting involved, just doing some surveillance. It had a malfunction. Boom, went down there. That's some strong words that could potentially be bad. Okay. So we will see what all kind of comes of that. One of the ones that I found extremely interesting is there is a hacker group called Moses's Staff. They went through and they posted a video on its latest hack against Israel. In the video, it showed surveillance cameras that were hacked from inside the Israeli intelligence office. Then it also had a statement in the video that said, and I will quote, "You will undergo irreparable damage in the field of cyber and infrastructure. From now on, you must pay for every bloodshed. Expect large-scale combined attacks. Our goal is clear, specific, and precise." End quote. Now, there were some other statements in there. That one I wanted to quote, but they had basically a thing of they're chomping at the bit saying, we're just waiting for the green light, that one word from our leader for us to get involved. Now, this, to be able to hack like that is extremely scary on one hand and impressive on the other hand. You can look at this and see how much is the U.S. and other ones going to be involved? Or, I mean, are we involved? There's no doubt about it. To what degree, I don't know. I can't prove anything, and I don't have a full idea. And you're not going to be told. If you are, it's going to be years later after everything's whatever. And sometimes for good reason, just for the safety of troops and others involved and things like that. I do understand. But to start adding in, because they have went through and shown where they have hacked into wastewater treatment plants, into other infrastructure areas. How good they are, I mean, from these videos, it looks like they're pretty darn good. Could it potentially be, something really bad? Yeah. We're not talking old school before a lot of the digital stuff when war was very kinetic, boots on the ground. Now that we're into fifth generation with all the drones and the AI and the way that computers are into everything, you don't have to have the same number of troops on the ground. The way that you can go in and do a lot of damage and destruction and all sorts of just ugly, bad, nasty stuff sitting behind the desk. Now, I still believe we're not there yet, that you still have to have boots on the ground in order to win or have control. You can sit behind the desk and hack into things or control drones or whatnot and basically make it really easy for a group to just come in and do cleanup. But I don't think we're quite there yet to fully automatedly sit behind a desk and just completely take over. But we'll digress out of that. Okay. The last one, I really wanted to, I want to take a second on this one. So let me read this first. The U.S. has stopped issuing export licenses for most civilian firearms and ammunition for 90 days, citing national security and foreign policy interest. Now, I looked into this a little bit. I'm still doing a lot of digging and everything on this. I'll probably do a video just on this because of how important I think this is and why I threw it in here. As far as I can tell, this has never been done before. And you basically have three big manufacturers, which is your Vista Outdoors, your Ruger, and your Smith & Wesson. And to put on firearms and ammunition a ban to where you cannot export them really is something that is confusing, intriguing. I'm still trying to understand the reasoning why, and I've seen a lot of people kind of talk on this vaguely. The one said, "Oh, well, you know, things are coming down the pike, and so we don't want to send it all over there. We want to keep it here, so that way, if something happens, you know, our citizens will know that they're trying to do a firearm ban and different things. You know, the magazine capacity and the type and the platform and things like that. So I don't buy that. Is it more along the lines of keeping it here, therefore the government can snatch it up? I don't buy that either, because at any point in time, they can basically say, kind of like a wartime scenario. Hey, for the next whatever, all products go to government. Now, they already did that with, I can't remember which one it was. But they basically stopped all civilian sales, and everything that they produce goes to military/government. So why would you do this? Now, I have some theories. I'm chasing some things down. And again, I will probably put out a video just on this, because this I see is very, very important. And I'm curious to see what the outcome would be. If you have a theory or a thought, put it down in the comments below. So with that, I will end this. I need more coffee. It is early. So I did get some feedback real quick from a lot of you. I got, again, more on home defense. I'm working on that. I got one for precious metals. I don't know if I will do a precious metals video, just because I am not probably the best person to put that out. Now, as of this morning, with all this news and all this other stuff, gold and silver took a big jump. So it's going to be interesting. Gold was shot up above 2,000. I think both of them was up quite a bit. Gold was up $20, $22, and silver was up like 20% or so, because I remember 20s being in there. But we'll see how everything kind of shakes out. I may have a good person that I can talk to and bring on, and we can do a precious metals video. I got some other ones about different pantry, canning, different things like that. So I've got them all written down. I will go through and I will do my best to give each of them a good amount of time. I don't want to be disrespectful. You took the time out to watch my video, and you took the time out to reach out to me. I want to do the same back, in response for those. So a couple of them I'd got, and I've already done a video or numerous videos. So I replied back going, here's the links. Maybe I'll do a video in the future to kind of update or refresh or do a little revamp to it, but we will see. All right, so we'll end this one. Um, Thank you guys if you made it this far for watching. You're the whole reason I'm doing this. So more information to come. Remember to remain united because we're all prepping in this together.